I am about to show you that a mind-blowing view of what you are, which I call Universalism, has to be true. Imagine that you wake up and learn that this awakening was the result of one of two alternative awakening games having been played. In the hard game, you would have been awakened only if a fair coin that was flipped 1,000 times happened to have matched precisely, in its pattern of heads and tails, a list of 1,000 words, each being either heads or tails, that had been assigned to you as a kind of security code. Even one flip not corresponding to your list, and you would have stayed sleeping forever. In the alternative easy game, although the same coin was flipped, there was no list assigned to you, and you were simply sure to be awakened without the coin's pattern of heads and tails mattering at all. You must infer that it is enormously more probable that your awakening had not depended on the absurdly improbable matching that was required by the hard game. In the area of thinking about personal identity, there is also a hard game and an easy game. The hard game, the usual view of personal identity, requires for your existence that, in your begetting and the begetting of each of your ancestors, just the one sperm cell crucial for your eventual emergence out of something like 200 million sperm cells competing in each begetting was the one that got to the egg first each and every time. Even one of these sperm cells not making it, and you would be excluded forever from existing in the usual view. The only easy game regarding personal identity is universalism, in which you would have existed no matter which sperm cells hit which eggs, for the sole reason that an experience being yours only ever requires that the style of the experience be first person, like the style of the experience that you know to be yours right now. So since all consciousness is first person in style, all consciousness is equally yours. But in each conscious thing, it naturally misleadingly feels as though only this one thing's experience is yours, as though the cut-off experience of the other conscious things is not also yours. Universalism says it feels like this merely because the experience in each conscious thing is cut off from the others. But the ordinary view adds to this already sufficient explanation of feeling cut off from the others, the unneeded, unthinking, and unwarranted assertion that you also only are one conscious thing, a thing that to exist would have had to have won a series of sperm cell lotteries. And in your reasoning regarding personal identity, you must apply the exact same logic as you would in the earlier imaginary awakening game. It is enormously more probable that your existence, your awakening to consciousness, had not depended on an absurdly improbable matching of actual winning sperm cells to the sperm cells that were required for you to emerge in a game as hard as the usual view of personal identity. Note that the existence of winners in the usual view of personal identity makes it not one jot more probable that you were such a winner. The only view that can automatically place you among the rare actual products of the sperm cell lotteries is universalism. In the usual view, you would virtually certainly have been left behind with all the potential persons that never made it into existence. If universalism were not true, you can bet you wouldn't be here. This means that you don't disappear with the death of any single conscious thing and that your real self-interest must extend to all conscious things. Retribution is a mistake because both victim and perpetrator are you. And here is my challenge. Either reject the inference in the imaginary case or show a relevant difference between that and the inference to universalism. I think that nobody can do either, and so nobody can avoid universalism. Now, you may feel less than confident about the basic principles of probability inferences, and inferences can be invented that are fishy or plainly absurd. If, however, a coin has landed only heads in a random sequence of 1,000 consecutive flips, and either a fair coin or a loaded coin was used, nobody can think other than that it is overwhelmingly more probable that the loaded coin was used. And the overwhelmingly greater probability of the easy game in each of the inferences I have described has that same indubitable character. So, universalism is unavoidable. If universalism were not true, you can bet you wouldn't be here.